I am a stranger in a strange land.
Hi, I'm Tim.
And I am not Patrick Swayze.
You are not the number one. Different movie, different actor entirely, but still.
We got something so special this week.
It is Popcorn Pulse 158, so clearly this is when we do special things, is at 158.
Yes.
For no reason.
Well, what did you bring to drink? Because that's important.
Well, obviously, I was like, being as this is a movie focusing on liquor a little bit, I was like, single malt.
What is it?
It's Delbach.
Delbach.
Yes.
You brought the whiskey?
Yes.
I brought the bourbon. Bourbon cheese.
Oh.
I just decided we needed bourbon cheese to go with our movie because why not? And it's bourbon cheese.
Yeah. Fair enough.
So, no, I did not prepare a charcuterie board.
No.
It's on a plate. I can't be bothered with all the other shit. They brush it with bourbon, then age it.
Okay. I was just saying, it gives it a bit of a tang.
It's a mix of cheddar and Parmesan. Anyway. What do you think? I kind of like the little complex flavors to it.
It's nice and dry.
Anyway.
So I
cheese
guess
has nothing to do with our movie.
nothing to do with it.
But it was bourbon cheese, and I'm like, well, that fits the theme of us being totally not alcoholics.
Definitely not alcoholics.
You think the fact that we keep saying we're not alcoholics doesn't help reinforce the idea?
You know what's funny? Here, just throwing this out there. So on Sunday when little family get together, so ordered shots.
A little get together because he has less family now.
Yeah. Tequila, because that was apparently the preferred drink.
We like to joke about his dad's passing.
Yeah.
That way we don't have to, nobody has to deal with the issue or emotions.
You just keep laughing until eventually you die.
Yeah.
And then by then the problem's solved.
It's the Joker philosophy.
Right. Anyway, but apparently tequila was like one of his like preferred drinks.
Okay.
Anyway, so we do a round of shots of tequila, right? And everyone else is like grimacing, and I'm just like, I knock it back. I put the lemon back in the cup. I'm like, I'm not wasting a lemon on that. And everyone else is like, ooh, and I'm just like, am I an alcoholic? Because I could just do shots of tequila.
No, everybody's just a big pussy.
Okay,
it's because we drink real alcohol.
And that could be it, because we drink things neat. It's like, to me, it's like, okay, it's tequila. It ain't bad. It isn't the worst tequila I've ever had.
I always feel like you can't really taste something if you don't try it neat.
Well,
some things are good with a little bit of ice. Some things are good with a little bit of water. But a lot of these hard alcohols, people just mix them, and what's the fucking point? You just got to sugar... Like, go get a fucking soda and just mix it in already. You're like,
well, that's what cheap liquor's for, and that's what it's good for, is mixing.
You don't want to go too cheap. It'll still taste like shit.
That's true. There's always a balance. Yes, I get you.
Anyway,
our movie. Jeez. Cheese.
Cheese? Tell me you don't like this shit.
I'm not complaining in the slightest. So what we have a pick from you. This is your choice.
I also have a tequila cheese upstairs. I should have brought some of that.
Oh.
It's called
Appropriate.
Rattlesnake. It's tequila and habanero, I believe. It's got a good bite to it.
So what was your choice of movie?
Is it just all me now?
You're going to introduce it at least.
You can't tell me you didn't want to do this movie.
I'm not saying I didn't. I just want you to introduce it. I feel like I get to introduce the movies a lot.
This is one of the most classic movies for Mr. Swayze.
Yep, so we've narrowed it down.
I think the only one known more to him is Dirty Dancing.
Maybe Ghost?
I don't think so. I think it's Dirty Dancing, this movie, then Ghost, as far as what he's known for. Has anybody guessed it yet in the chat? No, they're not guessing. They know. They know.
Get to the fucking point.
It's Roadhouse.
It's Roadhouse. Now, mind you, it's road space house. That's important that'll be important later when I get to mine. Just so you know. But anyway, Patrick Swayze, he's the bouncer. He's the cooler, if you will.
The cooler. Yes. I cannot see Patrick Swayze or this movie and not think about Ron White.
And his bit about bouncers.
The kind of bouncers that go home and jack off to Roadhouse.
They watch Roadhouse and fondle themselves.
Yeah. Depends on which way he does that joke so many different ways. I heard an old version of the joke where when he had long hair.
Yeah.
That was he's evolved it over the decades quite a bit. Anyway.
Anywho. So yes, we open with old Swayzmeister. He's working at a place called Bandstand. It's my God, is it 80s? We've talked a lot about the whole span of like the decades and whatnot, the sort of flex. Because this was made in 89, this perfectly encapsulates a lot of things from the 80s just right.
Oh yeah,
it is like a time capsule. You crack it open, and you're like, "Whew, oh, I smell hairnet, Aquanet." Whew. And is that do I hear Whitesnake in the background? Oh, and oh, Perfectly Safe Blues. Okay.
Whitesnake. It might be a little earlier. Yeah, okay.
Anyways, so we have I always forget
actually this movie, given its context, I would have gone with like Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Okay, you're right. Who's the? I always forget the guy that's the boss. Like, does he even have a name? The guy who actually owns
the actor or the guy?
Either. Really, like I.
Oh, I guess we're looking up the umdaba.
The umzabuzz.
Road. Got to wait 5 years while it goes through all the ads before I can actually look something up. Do they think I'm going to watch anything that they advertise on here? Like I'm going to go to the movies or buy a subscription to Disney Plus or something because it's on their stupid ass website?
I think this is the guy. This is the dude.
Yes.
I guess his name is Tillman?
That's right. It is Tillman.
I've seen this movie a lot. I never realized he had a name.
Oh my!
It's always just he's like, "Hey, I want you to come work at my place, my bar."
Have you seen the modern picture of Patrick Swayze? Modern-ish, even though he died in 2009.
The most updated one.
Speaking of people that died, real quick, we should do a slight toast. Did you know Dusty Hill passed in July, and nobody said shit?
Yeah, you did. Oh, you didn't know?
No.
Oh,
I didn't see a single fucking thing about it.
you must.
And that annoys the fuck out of me.
I guess you must not follow the right circles because I knew the day it happened. So
I
thought you knew.
I had no idea. Dusty Hill is the bassist for ZZ Top and one of the vocalists. Anyways, I'm having a drink to him.
Huzzah.
Sad. So sad. So I've been having ZZ Top playing like crazy lately.
Digging up the Velcro fly.
Anyways. Where are we at?
Tillman shows up. He's like, I love some of the dialogue. This needs to be stressed that the dialogue when you're writing.
He doesn't talk to him right away. First, we have the whole fight scene.
Right, we see the fight where he walks in like it's a
guy pulls a knife. He gets a little cut on his arm because he keeps like walking away.
Well, no, because he's fighting the other guys. He's like, I've always wanted to try you, Dalton.
Yeah.
Which is he's like outside, and then as he like throws him outside, that's when the knife comes out, and he's like. Slashes his arm. Mm-hmm. And that's when Tillman follows him into his office. He's got like he has his own stitch kit, sutures, click, click, zip. And again,
I love how he's stitching himself up there, but later in the movie, he has to go to the hospital for a small knife cut.
Apparently, he's not coordinated enough to do it on his side, I guess. He's like, I can do it with my arm one-handed, but on my side, oof, that's tough.
I guess.
He's like, I'm not coordinated anymore. But the dialogue, let's just talk about some of the lines in this. Because a lot of screenwriters will obviously either try to do realistic dialogue or they'll try to do like super badass dialogue. This is one that tries to kind of do both. Because when Tillman's trying to recruit him, he's like, I got a place where they sweep up the eyeballs at the end of the night. That's like, no one would ever say that. Teeth, maybe. I could see teeth, like, because,
they wanted it a little more visual. They wanted it's a little more tough than that.
Right, it's tougher than like knocking people's teeth out. Like, they go home with empty sockets.
Yeah. Anyway, so he's like, I got your plane ticket here. I don't fly.
Yeah, I don't fly.
When will you get there? I'll get there when I get there.
I'll let you know.
Yeah. Whatever. So we follow Patrick Swayze at that point. Dalton. He takes his piece of shit car to some random place and gives his key, throws his key at some, like,
Random
semi-homeless looking dude. I don't know if he was homeless or just...
He's like, what? Do I
poor.
look like a
Do I look
valet?
like a valet? Keep it. It's yours. Oh.
Gets in his Mercedes.
And I'm just like...
Or is it a Beamer?
Is this Seinfeld? Remember the BO episode?
Oh, yeah.
He just gives the key to her.
He leaves the key
throws
in
it
it. Right?
in and looks at it and walks away.
No, was it? I thought it was a Beamer. Am I wrong?
No, it's a Mercedes is what he gets in. He goes and uncovers the car, and it's a nicest Mercedes for the time, for 89. It's probably a 70s or early 80s Mercedes. It's not brand new, but...
Yeah. Now, I do like the storytelling where he goes to the town, and then, like, he gets another shitty car, and he gets, like
and
spare
extra tires for it immediately.
And like, if you're watching it the first time, you're like, why is he buying tires? And he's like buying, like, oh, okay, like, because you see later people slash his tires and stuff. You're like, I got it. That's clever. It's like, it's nice little. It's basically, it's telling you visually, in probably the most subtle thing done in the whole movie, that this guy's done this once or twice. And you're like, that's actually somewhat clever. And then it doesn't do a lot of things like that ever again. It just goes, nah.
God damn it. Are you where my t-shirts keep going?
Fuck the dryer.
They're coming here and showing up and stealing them, I swear. Look, you don't need to sniff my shirts, okay? I can, like, come in a rag or something. I don't know. Just whatever it takes to stop losing t-shirts. You like the cheese, don't you?
It's not bad. It's nice to nibble on. It's nice to have a cheese that you don't eat whole. You just kind of nibble. Anyway, so Dalton's first visit to...
No, I like my socks. You don't get my socks.
Because you remember the bar's name? I always forget
the Double Deuce?
The Double Deuce, that's right. I should just remember Sam Elliott saying it. Double Deuce.
We weren't there yet.
Yeah. We'll get there. Oh, we will.
So yes, he shows up and everything breaks out in a fight. And he just kind of watches.
He's just taking stock of the whole thing, which again I kind of like. He's just taking it in.
What's our bar owner? Oh yeah,
Tillman
introduces him after the shift or whatever.
Yep.
You're working for him now.
What he says goes.
And he immediately fires two people that we saw doing some bad stuff.
The guy selling drugs. The
lady was selling drugs.
Okay.
And the bouncer that was just angry and
super aggressive. He's
like, you got the wrong temperament. Not the only guy he fires.
No.
He fires a few more after a minute. One of which is pushes the story forward more. He's the nephew, I think, or something.
Yes.
The guy that he ends up across the street from, so he ends up renting a room from this old farmer in, like, the top of a barn, which is a super nice fucking room, really, even though it's in the top part of this barn.
He's like, I have to charge you something for it.
Yeah. Which is, like, it's got a bed, it's fully furnished, it's got its own kitchen, and... Anyway. And it's right along the river, and on the other side of the river is the rich dude. Evil rich dude.
That farmer guy, his name's Sunshine Parker. He was in that Sundown Vampire in Retreat.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's been in a few things.
Yeah, but he was one of the old codger vampires, like, just hanging out, wearing sunglasses and his overalls. But anywho, I was like, oh, shit. But yes, he ends up literally just behind the rich guy who runs the whole town, apparently. Because this is the 80s, and if you have a bad guy and he's the rich dude, he runs the town. That's his job. That's Ben Gazzara and his Ben Gazzarist. Hey, you want breakfast? Martini, perhaps.
He is such a cliche bad guy.
You know what? J.C. Penney's coming here because of me. J.C. Penney. It's like, whoa.
He's the evil businessman that's screwing people over, which I couldn't tell if they were just doing all capitalists are evil, which is just generic, but the other business people weren't evil in the town.
They're small town businessmen, so they're okay.
Yeah, but
it's like Red's auto parts store.
Yeah.
Random guy
auto
dealership.
Shop, yeah.
Yeah. Who we only ever see like twice.
Well, Red we see a couple of times because he keeps showing up for car parts and they kind of become friends or whatever. Dalton, Swayze's character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, J.C. Penney, photo mat, coming here because of me. Also, he's abusive because, of course,
Yeah, he beats his wife, or is she the wife?
girlfriend, something.
I don't know. She gets naked at one point.
How would you know he's evil if he didn't? He wasn't a domestic abuser.
They didn't make him rapey. They did not hit that one cliche.
Yeah.
But he does have a room full of animals he's hunted. Because they do that a lot in Hollywood. The bad guy always is a hunter.
Trophy hunter, explicitly. That's the big thing.
As hunting evil, guns evil. Unless the good guy needs a gun, then gun's good for him, but everyone else bad. I think it's just never had the opportunity to rape anybody.
I like to think she talked back to him when he mentioned the J.C. Penney. She's like, "I'll just order things from Montgomery Ward's catalog," and he's like, "No, you won't." Whack whack. Sorry, baby. When you talk bad about J.C. Penney's, you talk bad about me. I'm Ben Gazzara.
Oh, don't forget. Speaking of the bad guy,
Yeah.
Swayze in this Dalton takes a knife again, and has to go to the hospital, as we mentioned before.
He does.
Because this time he can't stitch himself. That way he can meet Dr. Lady, played by Kelly Lynch, who is known as Doc. She doesn't have a name, it doesn't matter.
Nope, she's just lady.
Who, and when she's a doctor, it's a very 80s look with the big glasses, and you're just like, whatever, and you're like, okay, that's the chick he's gonna hit on. Because every girl there wants to fuck him, but he doesn't care. And then he meets the doc, and he's just smitten.
Hey, you know what else is fun? She was in another movie we did, Virtuosity.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, she did some stuff in the 80s.
Oh, she's done other things, too. Like, I guess she was in the 2000s Charlie's Angel. Not my kind of movie, but...
once she lost the doctor's attire and the giant glasses, you could see, oh, yeah, okay, she's 80s hot. Okay.
Yeah. But,
Virtuosity. Did we do Virtuosity?
We did, because that's the one where Crow is a robot, or like he's an AI serial killer, amalgamation of other serial killers, and Hitler. Don't forget Hitler.
All right.
Because reasons.
Is she still doing stuff?
Yeah, Sid 2.0. Vale remembers. I wouldn't be surprised.
Anyway, she's some ex of our bad guy, too. That way we can have even more bullshit. That way he gets to sit around across the river and watch Dalton, Mr. Swayze.
Smoking quietly in the dark.
Yeah, watch them
glow,
fucking on the
coal
rooftop.
of a cigarette burning along with his anger smoldering.
I kept thinking, I'm like, if Dalton, our main character, was that smart, why didn't he just, like, when the guy pissed him off, just take her out and just fuck her right in front of...
Like, just bend her
like,
over?
Yeah, because he's got those, like, barn doors that open on the second floor in his room. Just
Yeah.
open it up and just be like... And then scream over to, what's his name? Wesley. Hey, Wesley! I'm fucking your girl again!
Fuck you! And she's just like, he's just really into it, I guess.
I'm gonna come on her face this time.
There's really only one sex scene. The first time they do it.
Yes, but there's lots of nudity randomly.
There are randomly just titties. Actually, no, wait. There's
the
one
evil guy's girl.
There's
whatever.
There's one other sex scene, and that's the second guy. That's the third guy he fires.
Oh yeah, they're fucking in the back.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you my regular Saturday night thing.
Yeah,
and he's just doing her in the supply room. I'm on my break.
Stay on it.
Good. That's an okay line. That's actually okay. It's not great. There's a number of lines in this movie. Speaking of when he meets the doctor. Yeah.
Pain don't hurt.
There we go.
Yeah, because she's like, I'm gonna stitch you up.
Do you like the pain? And that's his response or something. I forget exactly.
Pain don't hurt.
No, because she's like, do you like pain? And he's like,
yeah.
Because she offers him a local to at least stitch him up.
Anyway. So he at one point calls his buddy, who's the other chiller or cooler or whatever he's supposed to be.
Chiller would be better.
The guy that keeps the beers cold, I guess. There's one that's more famous than him, but he's getting old, and Wade Garrett. And they mention him when they first meet. Like, you want Wade, he's the best. And he's like, Wade's getting old.
Wade's getting old.
And anyways, he calls him because they're buddies or whatever. And he's like, what are you up to? And Wade Elliott, played by a very young, old Sam Elliott.
Not as young as in Frogs.
No, he's a very young, old Sam Elliott.
That's
Frogs
true,
are going into a middle-aged Sam Elliott.
No, Frogs was like Sam Elliott's first movie.
Sam Elliott has been old for a very long time.
He didn't look quite that old in Frogs. I'm just saying, like this is definitely though, like he was already settling into that. How
But
he's
this
always
movie's
gonna look.
89, and they're talking about how old he is.
Yeah,
And he's still out being the old man in movies.
yeah. It's kind of his role ever since. He's like, once his hair went gray but his eyebrows are black, like, yeah, you'll just be the old dude. You'll be the mentor. And he's like, okay, I guess.
Why did I bring up Wade? There was a reason I brought him up.
Because the random phone call to him.
Oh yeah, he does a random phone
It does
call.
nothing for the story.
He's working in a strip club. That way we have more nudity there.
Yeah, well,
Because they want random nudity throughout this movie.
Topless at least. Not
Yeah,
necessarily
well, they also do like I said, the bad guy's wife strips on stage randomly, so we can have a big fight scene later with the top henchman.
Sam Elliott was 45 around when this came out.
Okay,
So
because we have the top henchman, remember?
Yeah.
with the choker and the denim jacket, with the sleeveless denim jacket.
the perfect douchebag.
It's not
look.
quite a vest. It's not like that. It's like literally sleeveless denim jacket.
Yeah, he's clearly ripped the sleeves off himself. Had someone, do the seam. So
I picture him sitting there in front of a campfire late at night, stitching up the denim sleeves where he cut them off.
It's a skill he picked up in prison.
Yeah.
like fucking guys apparently.
Yeah, I love that. They have their big fight between him, this big bad guy and Dalton.
Do you think?
I fucked guys like you in prison. That should have been the sound we had for the board.
Do you think they literally had to find a guy who was about Patrick Swayze's height so it wouldn't look weird them fighting?
I like how throughout the movie, I thought she'd be bigger.
Which is fine. I actually I don't mind the fact that they just acknowledge that Patrick Swayze's not a super tall dude. That's fine.
Tell me, why didn't you grab that as the sound, though? I used to fuck guys like you in prison.
I didn't think about it. I knew the pain don't hurt. It's such a line. It's so classic.
You had another line after that. I forget what it was. Literally just a few lines after that was a good one. Anyways. So, there's not long before Wade shows up.
Yep.
And of course, his timing's perfect because Dalton got jumped by too many of them and he was getting kind of beaten. Wade just kind of walks back there like, how you doing, buddy? Well, he's like pinned to a ball and then just beating him.
Because what's the thing the guy says to him? Because I always remember Sam Elliott's line. Because Sam Elliott's like, "Well, I sure ain't gonna show you my dick."
Yes.
And I'm like, I don't remember what the henchman says to him that prompts it, but he's like, "I'm gonna show you my dick," and he just starts, and you're like, I too
then
would
he punches him in the dick.
Yeah. Honestly. I think if Sam Elliott said it to me, it probably would be the moment where I'd be like, "What?" And then he would punch you in the dick, and you'd be like, "Ah!"
This is immediately followed up with Dalton goes, wait, you got to meet this chick.
Yeah.
He doesn't say that. He's just like, I want you to meet somebody, and he wants to show off his new girlfriend, Doc.
Yeah.
And I love how Wade immediately is just like starts hitting on her hard.
He's like, I'm gonna cuck you, son.
No, he's got
no chill.
He's just and she's just with it. He's like, he stands up like, oh, I got a scar for you. He starts undoing his pants. Apparently, he wants to show his dick to somebody. And Dalton's just like, whatever.
Just have to ask nicely, and Sam Elliott will produce. Okay.
Well, being an '80s heartthrob girl probably helps too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love how Dalton's just like, whatever, okay, yeah, cool. And he's just like, literally just like, I'm going to take you home, and whatever you say, he's lying. I wouldn't count on it. Or bet on it, or whatever. Yeah. No, he is, there's no question that if given the chance, he would have fucked that chick. Right there in front of Dalton. Like Dalton was doing to Mr. Wesley.
Yep.
We would have had some double cucking going on. Wait, how does double cucking work?
It's
when you cuck the bull, are you like a super cuck?
Cuckception?
No, wait, you're not a cuck, you're a bull. So you're a super bull? What is this? What is the bottom cuck? Like,
I don't know. It's all the way down.
You've been cucked to a new level. This is like cuckception.
Yep. Anywho, our dudes. Should we talk about
Is that only allowed if it's Sam Elliott?
Maybe. The burning of Red's hardware store is kind of what finally pulls things
Not
together.
hardware, auto store, I thought.
Auto store, yes. Auto store.
So yeah, he immediately needs a windshield and some car parts for his car that gets fucked up all the time, right?
Yep.
And so he goes and meets Red, the auto shop, which apparently is right next door to the bar.
Yes. This plays in later.
Which didn't make sense from when they showed it before, but let's just go with it.
We just shrug and go, okay. This movie's not well written. That's all I'm going to tell you right off. Like, because part of the problem, one of the biggest problems they have is like none of the characters you see like it isn't clear they're connected until way late in the movie. All of a sudden, like all the old dudes who own various shops around are talking, and the farmer, and you're like, you guys all know each other? How do you know each other?
Well, it's a small town,
right? But still, they all like, we gotta do something about Wesley. It's like
they did a very poor job of introducing all of the business owners. Well, they should have had like a meeting or something early on that he could have, because we got our business, the bar owner.
Well, and that's
the fuck is his name?
We don't know why Brad Wesley doesn't like Tillman.
Well, Tillman's sort of stood up to him a little.
Sort of, but again,
and he did fire his. That was the big thing. Remember?
He fired the nephew.
Dalton fired
like,
the nephew.
There's that, but that's not necessarily enough to go to the level he's at yet. Like,
yes, Rio. That's exactly it. What is this movie about? Supposedly, it's about
bouncers or evil guys bringing J.C. Penney's into town, or maybe a photomat.
It's bouncer. Okay. If you remember, what is that really bad Uber parody movie where he ends up like taking around the spy or something?
Taking what around the spy?
Was it a spy or a cop? And it was like an Uber driver's wet dream. It was a comedy.
Wasn't it just Uber or something like that? Or?
I don't know. But it's that kind of thing, but for bouncers, where it's literally like some bouncer wrote a screenplay and just got to live out his dream. Like, I go around and I fix the bad bars. Yeah, that's it's not a comedy. I think by now they've realized that this should have been a comedy.
No, actually playing it perfectly straight is what makes it funny.
Well, yeah.
That's what's great. Everything is so earnest. What's the point? There's no.
What the fuck do you mean, what's the point? It's an 80s movie.
The thing...
That's the point.
That's the thing is, this is one of the few movies that cannot have like an actual plot and still somehow it's a bad watchable movie. Not a lot of movies pull that off. This actually somehow accidentally does. And mostly it's because everyone is taking it perfectly serious. It's so over the top.
But no, we have all these business owners. Red owns the
auto parts
store, if you will. We got the car salesman guy. I don't remember his name. Tillman. And there's a couple more. Why didn't they have like a meeting, a business, like a city meeting or something?
Right, because Red has that throwaway line about how he somehow like pays protection money to Wesley, but it's legal because it's an improvements fund. It's like, so he's not really protection money. He's just making you pay taxes, and the taxes suck. And it's like, I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, but he's not the government. I don't think it's legal. I think it's just...
But somehow it's all legal, like.
But Red didn't pay, and they blew up he lights it on fire, and it blows up. Anything that gets lit on fire blows up in this movie.
Damn shame. Damn, to buy those firemen a drink.
The old farmer who rents him the room, who's also part of the business council, I guess. I don't know. His place gets burned down. That way Swayze can run in and save him, and then, get mad at Choker
How
dude.
about that line? Let's talk about where the doc lady's telling him, like, you just leave or whatever, and he's like, someone's got to stand up to Brad Wesley, like, because, the people, someone has to, and she's like, well, you're going to save them from him? Well, who's going to save them from you? And it's like, well, just because he defeats a bad guy doesn't mean he has to, like, put on the bad guy crown, right? That's not how this works. How long is this movie? Oh, fuck,
hour and a half.
Running out of time.
Anyway.
Hour 54, actually.
Really?
Yeah, it's almost 2.
So they do keep mentioning, they keep talking about this history that Dalton has. There's a whole nother subtext there. He once killed a man.
Yep. Just to watch him die? No, not in this case.
But nobody can understand how he could just kill a man.
Yeah. Bad guyism is like Highlander powers.
But we do get the context through Sam Elliott's character.
Very clumsily.
Yeah. Well, what do you expect?
When a guy comes at you with a gun, you got two choices.
She didn't tell you she was married.
Yeah,
yeah, that's going to make him feel better.
He's like, well, I guess.
You killed a guy that got mad because you were fucking his wife. You're kind of the bad guy here. There's not no matter how you twist it, there's not really...
He did come at him with a gun, is what Sam Elliott says. A guy comes at you with
Shoot
a gun.
You got two choices.
Run or kill.
No, you could die. You can let him kill you, or you can kill him. You can kill that motherfucker.
Or you can say, excuse me, sir. We didn't have a conversation where I knew anything about you. You are but a stranger to me. And I apologize. We should probably have a beer about this.
Sir, why don't we shoot her and then go have a beer?
Right.
She's the one that lied.
He's like, look,
We're both the victims here.
Had I known.
I'm totally a victim.
He's like, I'm Patrick
your
Swayze.
wife.
I'm absolutely the victim. Look at me. Look at me. I'm short. I can't be in charge.
Anyways, but they do mention, like, they talk about ripping his throat out.
Yeah.
And then he actually does that to Jean Jacket dude.
Yes.
To Choker Jean Jacket, whatever douchebag. And after the I fucked guys like you in prison.
He curls his finger into a hook and just goes, yeah! And like, it punches like a bullet hole.
It's more like a monkey paw type thing. He's got the 3 fingers. And it's because, don't forget, they have the scenes, very 80s scenes where he's doing like Kung Fu,
Kung
the
Fu
slow,
Tai Chi.
Yeah. The Karate Kid thing.
Well, because we see it that morning that the coworker, the lady, comes over and she's like staring at his ass. And he's like,
no, that was when he was in bed and he got out naked.
Yeah.
You're thinking the old man watched him doing the topless.
That's right. The old man fell in love with him watching him do his Tai Chi. All right. Everyone falls in love with the man. Do you think... Even just the scene of where he's fucking her against the stone wall, do you think that was terribly uncomfortable? Because that would be awful, like, for many reasons.
I mean, sometimes girls like it when it's uncomfortable.
Maybe, but I don't think sanding your ass away sounds like fun.
I mean, whatever you're into.
Whatever, I guess, your kink is.
I mean, every girl's into choking now. Like 99.5% of them.
They all say that until they pass out, and then suddenly it's, why were you so...
No, the thing is, once they pass out, they start to come to, and that kind of thing. That's when you slap them really fucking hard while you're fucking them, and it's just like, boom. And then there's just lots of moaning, and yeah. Oh, sorry, I got distracted again. They kill Sam Elliott.
Oh, shit. I didn't realize the guy played Red. That's his name.
Yeah.
He's like, I can't remember my name. We'll just call you Red. It's fine. He's like, okay.
Anyways, they kill Sam Elliott, and then Swayze was gonna leave. So this is a story about a man giving up because they were gonna just leave and just fuck it and say, whatever, I'm out of this city. Fuck this bullshit.
He was ready to give up
after murdering somebody.
No, because remember, he hadn't murdered him yet.
Yeah, no, he killed the guy first, and then he was gonna leave the city.
Oh.
After screaming Wesley and pushing him across the river.
Fuck you!
Yeah. Which apparently the sheriff was okay with that part.
The sheriff was like, man.
And then they kill Sam Elliott. They beat him up, and then they stab him because he goes to get Doc, and Doc's like, I'm not going anywhere.
I'm going to sit here looking at x-rays because that's what I do with my 80s glasses. Yeah. They're so heavy. So heavy I can't run.
And then Swayze decides to... use his Mercedes as a decoy because why use the other car when we can blow up the Mercedes now?
So we get an excellent scene of Swayze stalking around the bad guy's house, killing the henchmen one by one.
We miss most of the kills because we just have like the new head henchman because the other one's dead.
Yeah, with the
second in command henchman, if you will, the one that showed up when they were doing all the intimidation stuff because the main one always stuck around the bad guy.
He's the one that Brad Wesley calls a bleeder.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, bleeder. You bleed too much. It's way weak.
Then he kicks him in the balls and shit.
Yeah, punches him around.
Yeah, fucking pussy.
And this is the thing. Imagine the guy who Ben Gazzara was not a big dude, but he's beating up a dude who's like 6'3", 6'4", and like he's not like super muscly, but he's clearly. And it's like Ben Gazzara's like bam, 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 and you're like, just punch him back, dude. Like it's just.
Yeah, but he's the big boss, dude.
Yeah, but still.
Anyway, so that guy goes around and sees half the henchmen dead.
Yep.
Then we get a couple of death scenes, which are fairly entertaining. And somehow all of those murders are okay, but when we get to the main dude, Brad Wesley, he's about to do the throat rip-out technique, but he stops himself. That way he can be the good guy still in the cliche 80s, 90s, 2000s, and now shit, where our action hero...
I've killed everyone else but you, because you have a name.
Decides not to kill our bad guy, Because he's the good guy.
But then
he holds himself back, and then they do something that lets him kill him anyways.
Yeah, because he grabs us because he has a display. He has like a traditional spear with a flint head. He picks it up, and it's clearly
that's
not.
after he threw a couple spears in the
It's clearly
fight.
not on a wire as he throws it at Patrick Swayze.
That was before, though. That was before the claw of death.
Right.
But that was hilarious.
Well, even better.
Then he grabs a different spear. He attacks him for a bit. They break it, and he ends up going after him again. And then shotgun out of nowhere.
Yes.
No, I think he grabbed his gun again or something. It doesn't matter. And all the city folk, business leaders are there, and they all individually take turns taking a shot at him to kill him. And then the one just takes all the shotguns and walks around the corner and dumps them, and the sheriff shows up. No, I didn't see nothing. You see nothing? No, I didn't see nothing.
No.
And then the fat henchman, a polar bear fell on me.
It's funny because he's fat.
And everybody laughs because a polar bear fell on him.
And then the credits roll as Patrick Swayze and Doc swim naked in like the creek.
Are you wondering what happened with the polar bear? Don't. It doesn't matter.
But no, the best part is still the fact they bothered having Patrick Swayze, who's shown to be an expert fighter, getting into a fist fight with Ben Gazzara, who's this 59-year-old man who looks like a 59-year-old.
This is another cliche 80s, 90s action film where they have the lead henchman and they have this big
they still do that
fight
now,
of,
though.
You
Yeah,
know,
with the
close to skills and stuff.
You always fight.
Yeah, but then they have to fight the main bad guy who's obviously not a fighter, but somehow they hold their own and they kind of win sometimes. And you're just going, how is this guy keeping up when... Okay, fuck you.
It's so stupid. But it's a thing to see. It's a sight to behold, really.
Anyways, if you haven't seen Roadhouse, it's a classic, and you probably should.
And it is my way or the highway.
There's so many one-liners in this fucking thing.
So many confusing one-liners, too. Well, you got insurance, don't you?
That was more than once.
Well, because the one guy says...
The fucking monster truck, the second you see it, and you're like, Chekhov's monster truck.
Yep. 2 seconds later. Because 80s, monster truck, of course. I'm surprised it wasn't one of the branded monster trucks like Bigfoot or Gravedigger.
It looked like Bigfoot, just didn't have the name on it.
Yeah, it had the right coloring and everything, but...
Can I see the full cast? I wanted to see. It's got...
You want to look for Tinker?
No, the bartender is...
Oh, the nephew?
Because they get the new bartender.
Okay.
And it's Keith David.
Oh, yeah. I forgot he has that little bit in it.
For those of you who don't know Keith David, I'm trying to find something you know him from. Pitch Black. He's the like religious priest dude.
Oh, everybody knows who motherfucking Keith David is. He plays himself in Saints Row 4.
Princess Frog. Oh, that's right. Yeah. But it's great because he just has this small part and he's a nobody at that point. And you're just like, hey. Anyways. We also forgot the singer, guitarist dude who's blind, who's Patrick Swayze's friend.
He's not a complete nobody.
Who
he
they
did
pretend
the
like
thing in
he
82.
played- Yeah, I guess. Anyways, yeah, his friend is the singer at the bar. I guess he knew him, and he's blind, and he doesn't do a lot, but
No, but that's an
it's
actual
kind of
musician.
a tropey 80 thing.
Yeah, but that's actually Jeff Healey. He was pretty sure he's born blind.
Is he?
He plays guitar uniquely because of it. Hence the way he has in his lap.
On his
and he
lap,
plays
yeah.
it. Yeah, that's just him. I think he was born in Canada. I think.
Well, I mean, he wasn't playing half the time because they play a couple songs that are,
Elvis plays something with balls.
and then they have the chick that works there go up there and sing, and you're like, nobody is for 1 second believing that chick is singing this song. Fuck you.
Do you remember her
Fuck everybody.
character name?
No, and I didn't get the point. I thought she was going to try and fuck him or something, but they never go with it. And I'm just like, why is she in this? What is she adding to any of this? She gets to see him naked and get flustered. Ugh, enough of this movie.
Enough.
Emails.
Email.
You want to get started saying what's in Gmail? No, I just want. I've used it before. It's okay.
Oh, God.
Rio
Oh, God.
sent us some stuff.
Rio brought us things to melt our brain.
Did you click it?
I did. Oh, God. It's mad.
So this is a Reddit post to replace our Craigslist. I do think one of these years we got to set up a a Tinder account or something. I don't know what we got to do, though. Are we going to put, like, females or males? Are we going to pretend to be a woman and catfish some guys?
We'll be robot. We'll be beep boop.
We got to get some connect. We got to get some. I don't know. We'll see.
No. Okay, I mean, besides all the whatever gender, I love the I'm an atheist, Satanist, and a communist. Now listen here, my friend. Those things are not compatible. I mean, maybe atheist and communist, maybe, but not the Satanist part.
Okay. Wait, how do you be an atheist and a Satanist?
That's the part that really doesn't fit.
How do you do that? How you do that?
Easy.
Do you know what atheist means? You keep using this word. I do not think it means what you think it means.
I'm an atheist. So at my church group on Sunday, I was telling people about. Excuse me. It's like, are you sure you checked the right box on the census? Atheist just means like a relaxed kind of religion, right? No, I'm afraid not. You need to go look at the people on Reddit who call themselves atheist. Oh, and I am cured.
It's such a try-hard, isn't it? And a communist? Who would have seen that one coming?
Oh, no.
Let me guess. You also smoke weed, too, and you hate your landlord.
Oh, God. They have so many things in there.
Landlords are leeches. Yeah? Fuck you. I'm gonna suck your blood, bitch. That's what I'm gonna do.
Garage door opening? What?
Are you reading this whole thing?
I'm trying to understand. You know what I love? This is the best part. The do not interact stuff, right? Like basic criteria, racist, misogyny. How many people are sitting there going, I am a racist, and because this person said I shouldn't interact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm not going to. It's okay. Hey, we agree to disagree. I just think that, people from the Balkans should obviously be put to the sword, and this person doesn't. And hey, that's all right. We can have our differences.
So wait, this person's a communist, but he can't get over a girl that he's been obsessing with, who probably didn't even know that he was alive, or she was probably some friend. Then he probably thought he was friend zoned or something.
I love the pro shipper / anti. Look, if you care so much about fan fiction and shipping, you probably might need to talk to your therapist. Like, hey.
I actually went to the bottom of this thing. I couldn't read the middle part.
Are these all different?
Just some background story here. My high school, I think, is called what? What does the number of semesters have to do with this? I tried to hook up with many girls.
I think you got a completely different thing than what I'm looking at.
Really? Oh, yeah. Yeah, okay. What the hell, Rio? Why'd you send us different ones?
You just might be looking at a different one.
Yeah, that's the first one. Did you do the send you more painful shit to read?
Yeah.
You skipped one, you jackass!
Well, I'm sorry, I broke it.
Here I was wondering how he'd gotten so far into this thing to read all these things about fucking atheists.
This
No, go to yours because we've already introduced the fucker.
Yeah. So this is
what the fuck? Bonbons, Mad Mew Mews. As she, her pronouns, she, her, if I've told you, you can. DM me to ask if you're unsure. Wait. So, she, her is your pronoun, but I need permission to use it first? Ow!
No.
What? You're taking the pronoun thing to a new level of fucking stupid. Okay. I am a polyamorous. What? Who cares? Who cares?
Actually, you know what the best part is? They say they're asexual. It's like, well, then
non-binary.
I don't think you...
Agender fluid? What? Why is there an A? Are you gender... gender flux. What is agender flux?
A negates it, though. Because
exactly.
If you're so they are
not fluxing.
They are strict. They believe in the gender binary. There's man or woman only.
Lidogender. Wait, I thought you were agender flux.
Well, there's also pink. Don't forget that
and
part.
Pink gender. That's okay. You can, as stupid as you want to go with the gender, saying you're a color is just going to a stupid where we all know you cannot be taken seriously. Is that the point? Is that the fucking point at that point? You literally just want to be like, don't take me seriously anymore. I'm fucking retarded.
I mean, you can take that because they have a weird cat girl icon below that. Or dog girl.
They've taken the... They. Why am I saying they?
I don't care.
Stupid people have taken the gender thing to the point where it literally mocks itself.
Yeah. No, again, my favorite part is always the do not
I'm
interact.
atheistic, Satanist, and a communist. Okay. Yep. I have ADHD, of course you do, and I'm autistic. Really? You're autistic? Did you actually get diagnosed in the spectrum, or did you just decide you were? I have a feeling it's the later.
I read a top 10 ways list to know you're autistic, and I said, why not?
I am physically disabled. You're fat. You know that's what it is. They wouldn't say I am physically disabled. They'd say I'm in a fucking wheelchair, I'm a quadriplegic, or something else. Nobody says I am physically disabled unless it's just I'm fat and I'm a lazy piece of shit. And I want to be fucking special. This is literally why people use the term snowflake.
I like to imagine they say it like an IT crowd. Like disabled.
I have BPD. Good for you. What does that have to do with anything? How is that a fucking characteristic of your personality?
Isn't the one thing I kind of want to throw out there? Isn't it weird how, like, you and I grew up on the internet where it was like basically don't tell strangers anything, and it was like, you pick your profile pick to be something from a show, and like you don't ever tell anyone. Yes,
literally, it was to hide yourself. And these people are like, let me share every intimate fucking detail about myself.
This really triggers me. Let me tell you all the ways you could possibly bully me. Do you think that's a good idea there, buddy? Do you think it's a good idea to tell everyone on the internet what bothers you the most, and that they shouldn't tell you, they shouldn't call you these particular names?
Here's the problem. I'm a white minor, 13-16 range. There's not a range. You have an age.
Well, I wasn't there.
There's no range. You're 13. I might give you 14. Let's just say 14 just for the sake of argument here. Here's what the thing is. You don't know what you are. You're a fucking idiot. Every 14-year-old doesn't know shit.
This is a 14 and he needs to go work at McDonald's for the 2 hours a day they're allowed to.
The only thing I will give 14-year-olds is they might have an idea of what it is that they want to fuck. But that's pushing it.
Anyway.
You may have a general idea of some things you would like the idea of fucking. Maybe you haven't found that yet. I don't know.
Now back to the Reddit post from the subreddit.
What the fuck?
Crushes.
I am not queer. Don't call me queer. Okay, I won't. I didn't plan on it.
Don't put that in my head.
Please tag for me.
Don't think of a pink elephant. Don't think of a pink elephant.
Do not interact. Yeah, okay. I got to hear this part.
This is the best.
If you're a pedophile, yes, please don't interact with the 13-year-old if you're a pedophile. I can agree with that one.
We're all in the same boat there. I got you. That's
what.
Fine.
What are you worried about transphobic? You're not trans. You said you were. Oh.
No, they have the usual criteria where it's like, I don't agree with...
Gender flux doesn't fit into the concept of trans, does it?
What I'm telling you is that people have, like, come up with these, like, it doesn't matter if they are the thing or not. Like, so you don't have to, like, even if they aren't a racial minority, they don't interact with me if you're a racist. It's a way to basically tell people, see, I'm not a racist. You go away.
No, it's literally only interact if you're part of our
collective.
They don't even care if these people interact or not. It's literally just signaling to the others.
Well, yeah.
Within the
hence the fact that
group.
later on they're like any kind of conservative.
What the fuck?
Great.
ED.
Eating disorder. I'm assuming.
Oh, eating. I'm like, you think maybe wait a couple years.
You have erectile dysfunction? Fuck off! Get out of here!
Maybe you should see
you and your limp dick and your blue pills. Boo! Boo! I say.
Wait,
it's actually
first question: do you have a penis? Because that might be your problem. That might be why it's not getting erect. If you do have one and it's not getting erect and you're at that age, y'all might want to go to a doctor, because that physical disability that's just totally not you being a fat sack of shit might be having problems with your heart. Y'all might want to see someone.
Now I'm confused.
Okay, eating disorder makes more sense. Okay.
I don't know what the
bi, pan, lesbian supporter. Oh, now, these are people they want to interact with them.
No, do not.
Wait, they don't want
They don't. I don't know why that is. That confuses me.
What's wrong with bi people? Is it because it pushes the stereotype that there's only two genders? Is that the problem? Do you not have? You don't support LGBT? You only do LG, although they don't like lesbian. Wait, they don't like pan either. Oh shit, I'm confused here.
I think they are too.
What's wrong with people that like to fuck pans? I've never figured out why anybody has a problem with that.
Let me tell you.
The pan consented, okay? I bought it. The thing said, "Oh yeah," on the packaging. What more do you want?
The non-sticks are so easy to clean. It just whoosh, wipes right off.
Okay, no more pedophiles. I don't have a problem. Yeah, nobody likes a pedophile, so. Pro shipper, anti. Ow. The whole people giving a shit about shipping thing is the dumbest fucking shit the internet has come up with.
It's the firstest of the firstiest world problems.
Ow. Don't support all these things, gays.
Yeah.
I don't support people in general. Fuck people. There we go. Don't support neo-pronouns and xenogenders. Oh, God. Xenogenders.
Anyway, but again, they're telling you, like...
What about Xenogears? I support Xenogears.
Yes, you should.
Whoa.
Yeah, just they're taking a lot of credit for...
Oh, they've made their own gender. They even have a coined on date. Yeah. Is that sort of for copyright purposes?
Well, hey, they're a communist. They don't believe in it, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it is not. You didn't come up with anything, sir. We did. We. Oh, come on,
yes, comrade. We all have.
Comrade, you mean our gender?
Do you think they write anything? I hope they write stories and fanfics so I can go and steal them.
It's not stealing if it's yours.
It's not. They're communists, so they believe in sharing all things.
They believe that they are They have the ability. They're giving us to our needs. We need their stuff.
Oh, okay. I'm done with this. It just keeps going. It gets worse. Yes, it gets worse. But for brevity, I will allow the enchanter to move on to the next one.
So from crushes under Reddit. Now, number one, something to remember.
Oh, God damn it. I just unclicked it.
One thing I want to throw out there is just that I see a lot of people share Reddit stuff, particularly like am I the asshole, or things like relationships.
Oh, yes.
And something I think a lot of people tend to forget is you can't trust a thing on Reddit. And that's like, so always this is we must treat this as fiction. And the reason I say it is because you just can't trust Reddit.
Everything on Reddit is fake. It is no different than 4chan.
It's probably worse because they pretend they're not. It's still going to be funny. That's fine. And I would say we will have fun with it. But I just don't want anyone going like, no, this person's horrible. Don't make fun of them. No, they're lying.
So they're
all lying.
This is a Craigslist, but not one, right?
Basically.
I got fucked over by an idiot in a game I was playing.
Oh no, I thought you were doing the not getting over this girl one. That was.
Yes, that's the text in the email before that.
Okay.
And then somebody found this post on Reddit by this person that was a cunt.
Okay.
Okay. And that's why it's being shared with us.
Because apparently they use.
That's the not getting over this girl.
This is someone who used the same name in multiple places. That's a.
They do say that their English isn't their first language, so we don't need to mock everything they say.
We do need to mock Show Bob and Vagine.
Thank you. Thank you, Mal, for that post. That is exact. Reddit needs that exact same warning. I really need help with this. No, you don't.
So I am the more energetic, crazy kid, the happy, positive one, which is why you need help, right? Absolutely.
Everyone knows, apparently. I don't fucking know you. While I like other girls being crazy as me, I found a special diamond. A diamond in the rough? Is that what you're alluding to?
Seek out the diamond in the rough.
A brunette.
Whoa!
The cutest and brightest smile, beautiful hair, personality is more like a quiet yet crazy when you really get to know her girl.
Wasn't that a Bruno Mars song? Like the quiet when you crazy and get to know her girl. Wasn't a chart topper. I think the top 50 maybe. Yeah.
Just some background story. Oh, we needed background story.
Oh, good. My high school. Oh, well, that's.
I think it's called has 3 semesters. Okay, that's not that uncommon. And wasn't fully mentally developed yet. I wasn't. Okay.
I was
Nobody
not.
is.
I love this. I was not an asshole.
Let's get something. Nobody is mentally developed until around 25, 26 anyways. The prefrontal is still developing. especially the impulse control part, which is actually useful because making lots of bad decisions when you're young is how you grow, which is why I do give kids the benefit of the doubt that things are harder now. Not in the way they think.
Sure.
It's not harder as in like, oh, we got to pay for healthcare. Fuck you. Things are so much tougher now. No, they're harder in that you can't escape your bad decisions. And part of being of youth is making bad decisions so you can learn from them. And that's actually, I think, what helps with the delayed prefrontal cortex development. Is it allows you to make lots of stupid mistakes when you're young, and the consequences are less. That way you can learn from them and not make as many stupid mistakes when you're older, and it matters more. Anyways, I also think people shouldn't be able to fucking vote until they're 25, but hey, what the fuck do I know? I say this fully knowing that I should not have been voting at 18.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I should be voting now, but that's a whole different topic.
That's a whole other animal.
There's many other reasons for that. I'm not entirely against the idea that landowners should vote. Do I sound like an old white man yet?
Maybe.
I'm trying. Anyways. Not that you should have to be a landowner, but you have to have stake in things. Business owner, something. You got to have some kind of stake in things so it matters. That makes sense?
No, yeah, I get it.
But on the other hand, I'm very big on everybody voting, so I don't know. It's one of those mixed feelings things.
Yeah, I know.
I also don't think felons shouldn't be able to vote forever, depending on what it is.
Just as they shouldn't be barred from owning firearms forever.
Yes and no.
I'm sorry.
I've again mixed feelings, but one of the things I'm very big on, and people hate me for this sometimes, is once you've served your time, I feel like you've served your time. I really hate. What is it when you get out and they fuck you for the next few years?
Parole?
Parole. Most parole officers are pieces of shit. They're some of the worst fucking human beings on the planet. Most of them are. Some of them are great, but it's fucking rare and fucking far between. Anyways, it's a whole fucking side thing. Sorry for the tangent. I'm not that sorry.
Nah.
Where are we at? We're making fun of some idiot on the internet. Oh yeah, they fell in love with some girl. Okay, you're a high school sweetheart. Yep. Whatever you gonna do.
Then he slept with some other girls, apparently, I guess.
Okay, you fucked some other girls and you haven't moved on?
Yep.
Okay, did you ever fuck this chick?
No, he confessed to her. She only saw friend zone.
Oh, you got friend zoned.
Yep.
Okay, it's literally just because you got friend zoned. That's it. That's why you're obsessing. Get over it. What else is there to do here? Where I was more developed. Oh my god. Anyways, blah blah blah. Yeah. I love how high schoolers think that they've matured like the next year. I've so matured.
I've grown in a year. It's like, haha.
Yeah, about 2 inches.
Yeah.
Get over it.
It's okay.
You have some hair down there? Oh yeah, you're a man now.
I was so immature, but until before summer started. Now I'm a man. Now I'm an adult. That's okay. It's okay. You'll get there, kiddie.
Yeah.
Anyway, shall we move on?
And now we have a bunch of adults acting like children. I wonder if it's always been the thing, and just like you notice it more now when you get older.
Probably.
Every generation does bitch about the next generation. That is something that has happened forever.
Well, yeah.
These kids these days, oh my god. Our parents said it, their parents said it about them, etc. on infinitum. Is it literally just this entire thing? He can't get over the fact that he got friend zoned?
He's just sad and mopey.
This is paragraphs.
Yeah.
Paragraphs about, oh my god, she friend zoned me. Dude. Hire a prostitute.
To be fair, this was 2 years ago, so hopefully he's in a better place now and moved on and all that.
Stop talking to her. That's your biggest thing.
I mean, mind you, it's 2 years ago, so.
If a girl friend zones you, I don't care if anybody wants to get into a debate about whether it's a real thing or not. I don't give a shit. No friendship tokens.
You know what would be funny, actually, is there's a very possible chance this person has grown up enough to where they're probably embarrassed about this, but this post exists forever now. Thank you, Internet. Isn't it great?
But I want to help all the people out there that if you ever feel like you're friend zoned, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your feelings on it are, what you think of her. whether friend zoning's real and your ideologies of it, you need to stop talking to her. Because your expectations of the relationship are different than hers. No matter what could potentially change the future, it won't. So stop. And 90% of the time, the girls are just putting you on the back burner as like, they could fuck you if they ever get pissed at their boyfriend, but they're not. They're going to pick some. That's the thing. It's only if they don't have 17 other guys lined up that are a bunch of douchebags ready to fuck them, and they do. So stop. They'll go to a bar and get laid in 5 minutes. If they're even slightly attractive.
Anyway, moving on. We're going to talk about individuals then.
What? There's more emails.
I mean, considering the time.
What's the time? Is it late? It is kind of.
Kind of.
Oh, are there more Craigslist stuff? Oh, no, I'm in the wrong thing. Cringe Honey Badger doing what? It's tiny. It is tiny.
Okay. What did the cringe do? The cringe
If Welltall isn't into cringe humor, then what do you call most of the jokes on your podcast? Our jokes are bad. They're not cringe. There's a difference. The idea isn't to make you just feel uncomfortable. It's just bad. We're stupid. It's not like The Office where it's literally like, oh, look, I'm acting like a fucking retard. No, we are retards. See the difference?
Speaking of, he does go on to ask that if I'm trying to get you to watch either the U.S. or UK version of Office, you should at least watch the UK one.
No, I do.
Martin Freeman's in it. It's great. Before he kind of got a little big, obviously.
Don't give a fuck. I got plenty of other series that I need to watch that will take precedent over.
You need to watch
Doctor Who. No. I eventually need to watch that shit.
No. You need to watch Black Books.
I don't know if I care.
It's funny.
I'll do Parks and Rec before I'll do The Office.
Oh, you'll watch the worst version of it? You're like, yeah, I'll watch the shittier version of The Office. I mean, at least you get Ron Swanson, I suppose.
And you get Star-Lord. You get chubby Star-Lord.
Yeah, that's true.
That's when he's funniest. Because his weight is what's important.
Well, you know,
I love how. Do you know how many people actually have this opinion that, like, comedians can't be funny unless they're the certain ones? Like, what's her name? Got skinny lately? I can't think of her.
McCarthy?
Yeah. And a lot of people are like, you're not funny anymore because you're not fat. And I'm like, she wasn't funny to begin with. What are you talking about?
No, Chris Pratt, I think, said that at one point he was trying to get into comedies when he was in shape and like no would, so he like kind of.
I'm sure he did. Jonah Hill had that same problem. He couldn't get roles when he lost weight because people want fat Jonah Hill.
You're not Jonah Hill. Where's all your blood?
What's this? We want Jiggly. Where's Jiggly?
He's like, well, I'm doing it for my health and myself. No, you're not funny because you're not fat.
Oh shit! There's another comedian who's just kind of a fat slob in all the things he did. And I can't think of his fucking name now.
Wraps up a lot.
He's just like a stoner fat slob in a lot of stuff, but he like got tired of it and got in shape, and he's a fucking beast now. And I haven't seen him get any roles.
I don't know.
Not Seth. Fuck Seth Rogen.
Seth Rogen's never been in shape.
Jesus. Anyways, if I can come up with the guy's name, it doesn't really matter, but guy hit the gym and just fucking bulked up and anyways, yeah, I'm done with the emails. What do you got for your individual?
Well, I decided to do Roadhouse 66.
What?
It's actually, this movie predates our Roadhouse, by the way. This is from 1984. This features Willem Dafoe just before he starts to really look like the Green Goblin and Judge Reinhold. This actually has something of a plot. A little bit. Tiny bit. The plot is that Judge Reinhold is a guy, he's like, his dad is kind of has money, so he's born into money. He's driving across country doing research for some chain that his dad has bought, like a fast food chain, essentially. And
holy shit. Kamal? Nanjini?
Kamal Nanjiani.
Look at the fucking, that guy got ripped.
He's like, why does everyone cast me for my voice?
Anyway,
I do hate that that's all he is. They're like, hey, we need a wacky voice guy, Kamal. And he's like,
it's like an Indian kind of dude. Yeah.
Okay. Hence, like the Men in Black International and God knows how many fucking things. I think, isn't he in the Eternals? I'm just like, God, I hope he's not just another wacky fucking dude in Eternals.
I don't fucking know. Anyways.
So yes, Willem Dafoe is hitchhiking, and then some random dudes, and you know they're bad because they have a Confederate flag in the front of their license plate, like a license plate that's a Confederate flag. They're harassing Judge Reinhold. They're like, spray him with beer, and the guy who's driving, we find out his name is Hoot. Everyone calls him Hoot anyway. Shoots the radiator of Judge Reinhold's car.
Okay.
Which is a 55 Thunderbird. Luckily, Willem Dafoe is there, and he's like, well, we'll get you to the next town. He's like, plug it with some rags, and they fill it back up. But they end up stopping in this small town where the plot revolves around. Because, like, well, you can't drive all the way to where you're going without a new radiator. Because it has a bullet hole.
Watch me, motherfucker! Just put an egg in it.
Yep. Well, anyway.
One eggy. They
stop by the local bar, the Roadhouse, as Dafoe calls it, where they get in a minor altercation with Hoot and his buddies Moss and was it Dig or Dwig? Doesn't matter. They're the two guys who are the yes men for Hoot.
Okay.
But they see the parts the auto parts shop owner, and it's a lady. And they're like, I'd like a radiator. She's like, no, tomorrow at 9 a.m. And then her sister comes in, and Judge Reinhold comes over. Hello, ladies. I would like a radiator, please, because I am traveling. They're like, no, 9 a.m. But after he gets in like a little tiff with Hoot, she's like, okay, let's get out of here, and I'll take you to buy a radiator. It's like, oh, it turns out we don't have a radiator. It has to come up from Tucson. That's $100-some. That's a lot of money back now. Because it's the 80s.
Because fuck the 80s?
Well, he got robbed, too. Like, while they're in the bar, the guys stole his wallet from his car. Because I guess he was a dumbass and left it in his glove box. He's like, my wallet, my papers. And everyone just kind of looks at him like, why did you leave your fucking wallet, your papers in your glove box, dipshit? With the top down on your 55 T-Bird.
Sorry, I'm still trying to find this guy, but...
Who?
The actor I was thinking of.
Okay.
I'm not gonna find it.
It turns out the town has a race they call the 66 Classic because they're along Route 66, and it's that very, very 80s and 70s thing, like where they're like, well, you know, people used to come through here back when Route 66 was a thing, but now the highway came through, and now nobody does. And you're like, wow, how many fucking plots has this been used in things where people are like, man, the highway really, really ruined everything because the highway.
Highway's evil?
Highway evil.
Well, I mean, there's a part in LA that most of the traffic's fucked because they didn't complete a highway because it goes through a rich neighborhood.
Oh.
I can't remember which fucking highway that is, but they just stopped because it was going to go through a rich neighborhood, and they, of course, were just like, oh, no.
I shan't have the commoners driving by my backyard, Muffy. It shan't happen. It will not.
And you can actually see how fucked most of the traffic there is because they didn't complete this, because it just shoves everything around.
Well, anyway, so the guy Hoot apparently has his dad's a judge or something, so he can just shoot at people and get away with it. And after getting his ass beaten, because he tries to get like some of his dignity back by playing Hoot at pool, and he wins, but the guy doesn't pay up, and he's like gets his face smashed in, and he's like, I'm gonna beat him at the race. Big race. And the whole gimmick of the race is that no car in the race could be newer than 1966, right?
Okay.
But luckily he has that 55 T-Bird. So they go to the junkyard with the parts, and they fix it up, and Willem Dafoe helps him. He's like, I know cars, I'll help you fix it. And also, I used to be a singer, and I was in a car accident, and my bandmate died, and I was very sad, and hence why I've been hitchhiking. He's like, but I will help you fix this, and you will race.
Is anybody else wondering what the fuck is going on right now? I am so fucking lost.
The plot seems kind of straightforward, right?
I mean, to be fair, I don't listen to when the Enchanter's talking frequently.
Nobody does.
Anyways, continue on.
Yeah,
they can't do shit.
The plot should be pretty straightforward. Is that these are two main guys roll into a small town in order to beat the local bully, they do a race kind of thing. It's standard 80s. So they fix it.
Is this Fast and the Furious?
Fast and the Furious. If everyone was on tranquilizers,
okay,
that's about how slow the drive scenes are. Anyway, of course the bad guys get wind of the fact that they're working on his T-Bird, and they burn the shed and the T-Bird. So now they can't race. Well, then the girl of the auto parts fame is like, you can take my Mustang.
Wait. Daddy took the T-Bird away?
No, it got burned by the bad guys. Molotov.
Why are you ruining this?
Because I don't know what you're referencing. I'm sorry.
Daddy took the T-Bird away. Okay. Never mind.
Not clicking. Sorry.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I know.
Because it's...
So then it's like, okay, she'll lend him her Mustang to race. Like, okay, so he'll have to win the race in the Mustang. All right. That doesn't happen. Willem Dafoe comes
the
back.
Beach Boys. Fun.
Okay. Well, Willem Dafoe gets one of the henchmen's car because the henchman's mad because Hoot was shooting at him because he's like, you told them about the car.
How do you not know a Beach Boys song?
Because I don't care for the Beach Boys that much?
You don't have to care.
Okay.
Doesn't mean... How could you not have heard... Whatever.
I'd have to have heard it enough to know the lyrics. So I probably heard the song.
It's probably one of their main... Fucking Christ.
Okay. It happens. It's like, you should know this through osmosis.
Thank
like,
you.
Maybe so. Anyways, it's weird. It's definitely, it's complicated. The plot gets way too complicated for what it is. I mean, hey, you get to see Judge Reinhold being a big nerd, which is totally a departure from anything he's ever done. Plus Willem Dafoe, again.
Good old Dafoe.
Every time he smiles, you can just see the Green Goblin mask come out, and he's like, ah! And you're like, ah! And she's like, oh, like when the one lady's supposed to be attracted to him.
They're gonna bring him back for this big mashup Spider-Man bullshit?
No, because he's supposed to be dead anyway.
So?
I mean, I guess Ock is his...
They're gonna bring back all sorts of people, so fuck it,
Did you know Alfred...
Why are we talking about that shit?
Did you know Alfred Molina named the arms?
What?
He named the arms, the prop arms.
Okay.
I always forget. Like, one is like Flo and Mo, and the other is like something silly. But yeah, he gave them names because he wanted to basically treat them as individuals or whatnot.
Well, don't they all have their own AI or something?
Kind of.
I don't remember.
We are talking about Doc Ock, yeah.
Better than talking about the shit he decided to watch for the show.
Well, yeah.
Are you done talking about that crap?
Yeah, I'm done. It's fine.
Okay. I bring us one that has nothing to do with anything we did.
Oh, thank goodness.
But I think you'll agree why I brought it in anyways. Season of the Witch.
Oh.
Which has Nicolas Cage and Ron
Perlman.
And what other reason do I need?
This was such a good concept of a movie. And
seriously, what do you need besides Ron Perlman, but Nicolas Cage and Ron Perlman together?
But Ron Perlman as his sidekick. That's even funnier.
So yes.
Sometime we should do Halloween 3 because I know it's a huge departure.
Anyways, starts with our two guys, Nicolas Cage and Ron Perlman.
Now, don't they do some de-aging?
What?
So like they do, don't they? When we see them younger, because it's supposed to be them on.
Is it supposed to be them younger?
I thought it was them.
Okay.
Younger.
Anyways, they started the Crusades.
Yes.
And they're just with horrible, just god awful like an episode of NCIS if China made it type of green screening. Where you can tell there's all of like a dozen people dressed as Crusaders standing behind them, and everything else is just green screened in, and they go into this big fight with, the bad guys, quote unquote.
The other side.
They don't always show. They kind of vary who they fight slightly from battle to battle, so they can show different battles happening.
Well, they're supposed to be showing like progression of the years. Like
so they kind of do this like montage almost of fights is what they kind of build up to.
Well, and
until they get to the sacking of a city.
I will say the one thing you get kind of clearly from that scene, from that little bit, is you're supposed to kind of get the impression these are guys who've been fighting for a long time.
Yeah.
And you do get that like pressed in you. You're like, yes, these guys they're tired, but they're experts.
But then they end up sacking the city, and it turns out it was full of a bunch of women and children. And Bayman, Nicolas Cage, has his moment where he runs a woman through in the fog of war, because it's literally a fog, and then like he stabs her, like turns real quick and runs her through, and then he can see, and it's a woman, and oh my god, and he sees all the dead women and children. And at that point, the two of them are just like, oh, fuck this, we're out. It's like, you've already been murdering people left and right, but now it's bad because, you know, the last one was a chick. Who cares about those thousand other people you fucking murdered?
I'm fine with looting, pillaging, and raping, but murdering women? I draw the line somewhere, sir.
She was vaguely attractive and youngish, so, you know.
That's true. He was like, all the other women I've killed were kind of dogs. He's like, but she was, I could have had sex with her. Now I'm done.
So, yeah, their commander's yelling at them, oh, and then you made a thing to God, and they're just like, yeah, fuck you. You can't leave. Who's going to stop us? Because they're well known, I guess, as they're the good knights, and nobody will fuck with them. Anyways, being well known doesn't help them because they go back to England area, or whatever.
Some vaguely European era.
Yeah,
like, hey.
European place with castles and keeps and everything's covered in shit, so you know it's the Middle Ages.
Yep.
I love how all the roads are made of mud in these movies. Like, the opening of, was that Peaky Blinders or whatever series everybody fucking loves? I haven't watched enough of it to tell you anything, but it starts with just mud. Just mud everywhere. All the streets are fucking mud. And I'm going, nobody decided to, I don't know, do something about all the fucking mud in the middle of town. I ran out of drink and my throat's all dry, so I'm going to be coughing a lot.
I thought you'd brought a water down.
No, that's old. I don't know how long that's been there. Weeks? It's still tempting, even though it's probably going to give me something bad. Anyway, I guess this calls for tequila. Anyways, they're going through a town and they immediately get caught. The first like town they finally come across. Oh, you know, they come across a plague-filled house first. The people there kind of like plague covered and dead and bloated, except for the woman reaches for them. So you have a semi-jump scare for no reason.
Rawr.
So they light the place on fire and leave. Because that's what you do. And steal their horses. Anyways, they make it to town. They try to get some provisions, but somebody sees Nicolas Cage's hilt on his sword. Because, you know, the guy helping his horse or something drops it. And oh my god, they saw my sword. They know. Just, you know what you do when you're trying to hide from the fact that you're a deserter? Is keep your crusade sword.
It's like when you go AWOL in the army, you go everywhere in your uniform.
Yeah.
You're like
well, you just keep it packed in your backpack. That way somebody can casually see it.
Maybe wear the hat. Maybe just the hat.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh no! People have realized that I have run away from my post.
And they fight for a second, but then, like, Nicolas Cage's character is like, nah, just give up. We don't need to murder all these people. And then they basically like, well, you can hang, or we can take you up to the bishop, dude. Or the cardinal. And the cardinal, who you can't really see, he's got prosthetics all over his face to show that the plague has fucked him up, is actually played by Christopher Lee. You wouldn't notice it, and they barely use him. It's a fucking waste of Christopher Lee.
They just did it so they could put him on the, billing.
Anyways. They're like, we got a witch. She needs to be transported to this place with the monks where they have the book that'll deal with the witches. And they're just like, okay, is she really a witch? Yes. They'll decide that there.
August says he wasn't on the billing. That's sad. Then they completely wasted him then. At least that's what I would have done. At the very least, give him 5 minutes, a small paycheck, and put his name on the poster.
2011, it's close enough to, I mean, it's a bit off, but it's close enough to Lord of the Rings. I would want to touch any of that you could to get into this movie.
Hopefully bring some of that shine with them.
Yeah.
Just kind of rub it on your movie like, yeah.
Anyways.
So again, they wasted it.
So they put together a small troop, and they end up, at first he's reluctant, then they decide, we're going to take the switch to this place. And some young girl, played by Claire Foy, who gives a fuck, acts all innocent and keeps playing. You can tell she's playing with them, like trying to get them to help her. Right? Okay. So they agree. Ron Perlman and Nicolas Cage are going to lead this troop of, one guard, whatever night dude at the castle. Some kid follows them and wants to be a disciple, or what's the word I'm looking for? Where you work under a knight.
Like a shield bearer, or
what's the phrase? Squire. Yeah, I think he wants to be a squire because he wants to be a knight someday.
One day I'd like to kill women and
children. If you couldn't tell, Nicolas Cage is gonna knight him before this is over. Whatever, who gives a shit? It's not like you need to do that position for years or anything.
No, it's a couple of days.
You're
fine.
You also don't start as a squire, but he can fight, so I guess him being a squire is okay because he's got training. It's not even. I don't even know where you start. Shield bearer would be below squire.
It's probably dependent on the era and everything, but
squires are not a low position per se. Knight is a high position.
It's kind of like how peasants aren't as low as a lot of people think. Like a lot of people think,
they are the lower class, but doesn't mean that they're
most people
nothing.
when they picture peasants, they end up picturing serfs, not peasants.
Well, there's two classes that people don't. Well, there's mainly two classes of people. There's the nobles, and then there's everyone else, the peasants, the peons. Yeah, kind of a distinction, mostly dependent on your family. It's another thing people get wrong. They assumed color of skin mattered, and back then that was very little to do with it. It was what family you belonged to, and you were owned by your family. And leaving your family made you into a serf. So leaving wasn't an option if you weren't already serfs.
Anywho. So yeah, we have our squire dude. We have the girl who's possessed.
Yeah, she's fucking with everybody. She ends up semi-escaping, but she gets caught again, and then she fucks with them, and then
someone gets asked if they would like to live deliciously.
Well, the squire dude's holding his sword up, and the other dude thinks he sees his daughter, the one guard dude, and runs right into the squire's sword so he can die.
And the squire's like, I didn't kill him, I swear.
They got a guy that was in the stockade locked up as their guide because he knows the way, and he's I don't know, salesman of something. He's a bullshit artist.
A salesman of pots and pans.
He gets taken out by some wolves.
Wolves on the way to the set of Wolfman.
Because he just starts like, we need to kill the bitch now because things get bad. And then the wolves show up and they get chased for a bit, and then he gets torn apart. Yeah, it seems like whenever somebody's a problem, they end up getting offed. But they don't realize this until they get to the city full of monks. Don't worry, everybody's dead from the plague there.
Like, well, that made the whole trip pointless. I guess we have to turn
Pretty much.
around.
Then it's like, okay, we got to go to the next place, I guess. But they find the book. So the priest is there, and the priest is like, I'm going to do the thing, right? But he quickly figures out, because he starts doing the incantation or whatever for witches. And then it's when they realized she led us here. Because, like, everything she was doing was to help them get there.
By killing everyone?
She killed some. Whenever one of them said, like, we should turn around or we should kill her, now nobody would know. They get offed. Everybody that's a problem with her getting there, she wanted to get there. Because that's the last book of this, that has the special incantations that can, whatever. And he's just, but anyways, the preacher dude's just like, wait a second, this isn't a witch. And he flips a little bit farther, and it's demon.
Oh no.
She's possessed by a demon. Which isn't actually, it's worse. What it is a plot device allowing Nicolas Cage to save her, because he wanted to save the girl. And now he can.
Because he can exercise it.
Uh-huh. Don't worry, they all die. Ron Perlman dies, Nicolas Cage dies. The only guy that makes it's the priest. And the girl, of course.
Yeah.
They save the day.
Yay.
And that way you can have Nicolas Cage protect her as he dies.
Ugh, I'm sad.
It's his redemption arc. Or something. Because saving one girl makes up for murdering thousands or hundreds or whatever it was.
The one hot chick.
Yeah,
that's all.
Well, the
matters.
rest were heathens, so it's okay.
He saved one. He saved one girl.
They were Muslim or
fine.
something, whatever, in the Middle East. You know,
Might even just been French.
well, that is a misconception. They didn't just kill Muslims. The Crusades were killing lots of people.
I mean, a lot of wars typically killed a lot of.
Yeah. And you can't forget, they didn't. It wasn't one direction. That's another thing people always fuck up. It wasn't just a bunch of guys putting on white, robes over their armor and going down and killing Muslims. The Muslims killed back. They're very effective at it. They're actually really good warriors. That's another thing people fuck up.
Yeah.
What? I can say there was a lot of good warriors there. He's worried we're going to make somebody mad. Oh no, we said you're really good at that some of you were good warriors. That'll piss someone off. Anyways. I'm just saying, it was lots of people killing each other. That happened a lot. Wait, that still happens a lot.
Wait.
Why does everybody keep killing each other? Modern schools in America. But that joke hasn't been done to death.
I always love people like, school didn't teach me about this. It's like, school doesn't teach you everything.
School didn't teach you about fucking anything. Like literally. Fucking hardly shit. American history throughout all of high school, you learn very little American history. You do learn a lot about the battles of the Civil War, though. And a couple in World War II. Did we cover World War I at all? I think some.
That was probably one of the ones I would say probably gets glossed over a little more.
Comparatively, definitely. Which makes no sense. It's
a little bit of revolutionary, good bit about Civil War, more about World War II. Almost nothing about Korea.
They barely cover Korea at all. I don't think they even covered it.
It's closer to modern history there anyway. Yeah.
They didn't cover Vietnam at all. I don't even know if we mentioned it.
Oh no, it was mentioned for mine.
Our teacher, my teacher was cruel, and that guy's special. He would just put slides up, and you'd copy his notes on things. So I think we had one slide on the War of 1812. I don't think we did French Indian or any of those things. No. There's a whole bunch of wars in between the Civil War and World War I. I can't even name at this point because I never learned them in school, and I always forget things now because I'm an idiot. But yeah, there's a lot of wars throughout there.
Yeah.
America hasn't really not been at war with somebody, since our founding?
Something like that.
There's only a few years here and there. I mean, it sounds like we only go to war once in a while when you read your history book, but it's like...
When we run out of opponents, we declare wars on things like poverty or drugs. Things we can definitely win if we just fight hard enough.
The war on COVID? Oh. Sorry, that's just a little too... Somehow that's a left versus right or Trump thing. I don't understand that one. Or Halle Berry thing. Somebody needs to explain that to me. I do not understand how this is a us versus them thing.
Well, it's easy. If you find a way to other someone else, then you can effectively mark them as the bad people because they won't do whatever.
I guess. I mean, yeah. That's exactly what it is. I thought we were all on the same page. Diseases equal bad. Is there some confusion there? Is there anybody that likes COVID? Is there anybody sitting around I love getting COVID?
You make it sound like you
playing
have
with their nipple like it's a South Park episode.
You haven't met a politician who can literally take anything that shouldn't be divisive and make it so.
I've seen Thank You for Smoking, and it's a great movie.
Anyway,
I do like in Thank You for Smoking how he plays that line really well. Like, he's not evil per se. Anyways. I don't really have a reason to talk about it on the show, I don't think. I don't know, maybe. Not now. We just talked about it. Apparently, we had a special bonus movie because Alga. Site news? You have any site news? We're going to be in a new studio before too long.
Yeah.
You guys won't notice a single bit of difference.
Hopefully. Hopefully, maybe quality increase, maybe.
No. No, the live listeners will notice a difference because nothing will work, and it'll be an hour or two of us trying to get shit to fucking work.
Okay, why won't this connect?
Because you know that's what's gonna be. What do you mean you can't find the fucking internet? You're plugged into it straight!
Hard copper. Head kappa.
Well, actually, no, I don't know if we will because it comes in on the opposite side of the house. That might be a wireless connection for a while. We'll see.
Maybe.
We might be recording from a laptop for a while. That is what I named my shulker full of rockets. Rockets go brrr. I got nothing. I don't even have a fucking rant to do at the end here of bullshit so that you guys can know that we've ended the episode. You know, my usual ranting about nothing. I don't even know what to talk about except for, of course, your mother. It's a very nice lady. I don't know why everybody talks shit about her. You should really call her. Even if she's dead, give her a call, you know? She wants to hear from you. If you're wondering how you do that, motherfucker, go to church. That's how you do that. Why haven't you been? Why haven't you been to church for a while, huh? We've missed you. We've all missed you. Join us, won't you? Join us. Yes.